अरे कैसा भाई, यस नो कुछ तो बोलो।
वो लोग खाली बोलो बोल के खामोश होते हैं। सुना रहे हैं।
नहीं, क्योंकि वो उसमें टाइम तो लगता मालूम वो उसको एक तो पहले रिकॉर्ड करके।
नहीं
यस
नहीं नहीं,
स्टार्ट।
वो तो है बेचारे, एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट डाल रहे हैं।
यस यस, ही इज पुटिंग लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट बिकॉज दे नीड टू record then upload, so it depend on internet speed. So it required after the class we need 1 hour to do this all stuff. Okay, so let's go look at here. So let's use the same diagram. So what we will see today. So now you guys know about the ELB, elastic load balancer. Why we use the ELB? To have a redundant server. If you okay, there is it is not compulsory that you should use the ELB, because if you have a small office and one server can take care of everything, so there is no ELB required. But when if you use one server, so in the auditing, they will say this is a standalone server. Your application is on risk. So there is a risk compliance audit will happen in organization. So they will say this server is or this application is on risk. Why? Because this is on the standalone. There is no redundant server. So they will ask you recommendation in the risk or after the compliance, after the review, they will say please use the load balancer or please have the redundant server. So that time for remediation you need to use this. That's why we don't wait till there. We use two servers, two four servers for load balancer, and we use the load balancer. So that's the one thing. So now the second thing. So till yesterday we hosted our port on port 80, which is a default one. It is, but port 80 is port 80. It is also called STTP. Okay, and it is also called not secure. Okay, similarly port 443, it is called HTTPS. It is also called SSL, and it is more secure. How? Why port 80? And the organization, even the auditor, if the auditor comes, they will, if your application is hosted on port 80, the security auditor I'm talking about, so they will put it the remark, your application is hosted on port 80, please move, and the remediation they will say please move this to the 443 secure port. Why? If you look at now, I'm showing you some example. Now let's say okay, SDFC bank. Okay, if suppose I'm going to the bank website, can you see here HTTPS? The moment I click the net banking, so you will see something here. Can you see this website is hosted on HTTPS? Okay, now just look at very carefully any banking site. So let's say net banking HDFC. So let's do that. So when you say this one, so now see here. So by default it will be in HTTPS. Why? Because this is a more secure. Because if suppose it is on for example HTTP, so hacker can be identify your username and password with the HTTP. That's why it is called not secure. So you need HTTPS port 443. Let's say even for you take anything. Let's say Facebook. Can you see this? Facebook port 443 HTTPS. You will not see anything nowadays. Everything is, even Google. Can you see this? Your Google also HTTPS. So what is this HTTPS? Okay, and how to host your URL? And if you recall yourself yesterday, what we were doing, we were just copying our IP address, public IP address, and putting into the browser. See, if you put something in the browser, so by default it will take port 80. If you want to use HTTPS, then you need to specify HTTPS blah 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 .com something. So you need to specify HTTPS, which means more secure. Okay, now the question is how to host HTTPS website. See, website means what? You this when you hosted something, website is nothing but this. Like if you recall yourself, when you were browsing your server, you were getting the name something called server one, server two. That is nothing but the web page, right? So that is web page, and you can, if you are good in the HTML, have a web page, then use this instance and put the web page in your instance, and you can do that testing also. In the organization, you will not, they will not ask you to design the website because there are separate team. They will just what is your role? You need to provide the instance. Once this instance is ready, this Linux server, so you just need to provide them access. So the developer, they will develop the websites and all, and they will tell you our website is hosted on port 80. Let's say for example, then from once their page is ready, then your work will start. Your instance is ready, create the target group, ELB, security group, and those things, and provide the access from here. And load balancer, if once what and the testing, um, there is a UAT or dev testing before going to production. So you the server guy, they will work with you, and once that load balancer is set up, so we will ask them, can you please shut down one server, stop one server instance? They will stop it. So they will test, okay, it is the traffic is going here. Then they will make it this up, they will down this one and testing. And now everything is done, all the testing get recorded, and they will publish into the some documentation, and they will say, okay, this is we tested in the dev environment, and our application is tested. They will wait for 1 or 2 weeks, and then it is ready to go into the production. So this is a dev environment. Then you the similar thing you need to do into your production. Like this, the thing will get happen. Okay. So now the question is how to host website on the 443. So there is something required here. So to understand the certificate, you need to, there is a some important thing is required. That is every organization. See, you will have many servers. You will have a Active Directory servers, you will have a DSCP server, you will have a DNS server, you will have a AAA server. Okay, let me write down here. You have AD, Active Directory server. You have a DNS. You have DHCP server. You have a AAA, authorization, accounting, and क्या है AAA का accounting, authorization,
Authentication.
authentication. Triple. Okay. So similarly, you will have multiple servers. So similarly, there is one server called CA. CA server. CA server is certificate. It issue the certificate. Okay. So what will happen is this CA server. So every now what will happen apart from this server, whatever the server you have a Linux server, you have Windows server, because there are many servers they use for different application and different stuff. So every server they need a certificate, and you know who will issue the certificate? This CA certificate. This is the main server. CA, certificate authority. Sorry, so CA means certificate authority. So what it will do, let's say this is the server. Okay, this is your new server. It is going into the production. So this server, it will generate a self-signed certificate first. Self-signed certificate, SSC, self-signed certificate. So certificate is nothing but in certificate, self-signed certificate, there will be information that my server name is this one. I'm belong like this server will be in India, this particular place. This server is belongs to this organization. This is some information. So this self-signed certificate you need to send to the CA. So this certificate will install into the CA, and you know this CA server, it will sign this certificate. Sign means there will be one check mark, and they will send back the certificate to the server, and you need to upload back that certificate here. Then now your certificate, your server is signed. So now the second thing, when the certificate is get signed, so let me just use the another color. So now your certificate is signed. So this certificate, they will server team, they will send to you, AWS guys, and that certificate you need to come here and go to the AWS, and there is something called certificate manager. Okay, can you see this? AWS Certificate Manager. AWS Certificate Manager ACM. Make it easy to provision, manage, deploy, and renew SSL TLS certificate on the AWS platform. So now what you need to do is, see, private certificate. You and your IT administrator can establish a secure managed infrastructure for issuing, revoking private digital certificate. Private digital certificate identifies secure application, services, and user within organization. Or provision certificate, provide name of the site, establish your identity, and let ACM do rest. ACM manage a renewal SS certificate and all. So when they provide you certificate, okay, so let's say this one, get started. So now they change the look and feel of this server. Now see, you can create a root certificate point or establish a CA hierarchy. So if you want to create a root server, a CA server, you can create the root server here itself. But there is something called certificate manager. That page once again. Okay, provision certificate. Okay, so here request a public certificate from Amazon. By default, public certificate are trusted by browser and operating system. The request a certificate. Okay, I missed one point here. See, do you see here import certificate? So when a server guy give you certificate, that certificate you need to install in certificate manager. Okay. Now, as I told, there are some labs are having some limitation. Okay, so you need to understand the background and you need to consider those stuff. So now, let's say for example, to show you the certificate manager and host our public server on port 443, I cannot show you this part. Do you agree with me? Because for this, you need to have a CS server. You need to have a server and self-signed certificate and this procedure. This procedure we cannot see here. Okay, but we can consider now what happened is that certificate is pushed here and you need to import that certificate here. That's it. You just need to import that certificate, finish. What will happen now once it is finished? Now while creating the ELB, you need to choose port 443. And when you choose 443, they will ask you, please specify the certificate, server certificate. Then this certificate you already install in your certificate manager. Then you need to give this direct path to here. Once you given this, then next everything is same, next, finish. Now the finally what will happen, when you while browsing, your URL will be hosted on https URL. So it means the HTTPS, it is a secure, it is signed, this server and this application is signed by your CA. Okay, and even internet authority, and this CA will be authorized with internet CA. So every organization, they will have their own CA server, their own domain. It is registered with CA. So there is also one internet CA. So entire world CA servers they will find here. So with this, what will happen? So there is a secure communication from here to there. Facebook have their own CA server. Every net banking has a CA server. So what will happen? Your CA server, and let's say your HDFC CA server. For example, I'm giving the example only. Banking, any banking CA server. So they already trust here on the internet. So what will happen when one of your employee, they are doing a secure transaction? So these certificates are trusted to each other. That's why they can do a secure transaction and no hacker will be come here, because this is HTTPS connection. Are you getting my point? This is very important from cyber security point of view. This CA and this certificate and secure communication, this is very, very important. So that is why the SSL connection or port 443, this is very, very important, and every URL host on HTTPS. Okay. So now this is one thing. There is one more thing. Okay. So this is the procedure. So now what we will do is request a CS certificate. We will request a public certificate from Amazon by default. Public certificate are trusted by browser and operating system. In our operating system, if you look at here into our browser, okay, if you go to the setting, and there will be something called certificates. In the security, can you see this? Manage certificate. Manage HTTPS SSL certificate in and setting. So when you click this one, so it will tell you how many certificates you have. So in your organization, every CA server, that is nothing but the root CA, that get pushed to your operating system, your machine automatically. They use some tools, like if you join any organization. Okay, so they will give you Active Directory, like already installed laptop to you. So in your laptop, if you go to the certificate and see there, you will see a bunch of certificates there, which are nothing but issued by your own CA server. Okay, right now I don't see here anything, but if can you see this trusted root certificate? See, these all are trusted roots. These are internet roots certificates. See, if I use anything, let's say a AAA service, if you open it, so you will see this certificate is issued by AAA certificate, AAA 2003 till 2028. Date is here. The certificate is okay. And one more problem. When generally in organization, when you issue this certificate, so this validity will be for 1 year or 2 years. Why? because you your organization need to be updated every time. You cannot just take certificate for 5 years, 1 or 2 years. So what will happen after 1 year? You need to go back to your CA and reissue the certificate for next 1 year validity. Then again the CA will give you, and you need to re-upload that certificate here. So like this, you will get enhanced with more security. So this certificate will be valid for 1 year or 2 years. So you need to have the certificate. So this is all play of the browsing. Even you cannot access the internet without certificate. You will get some page error. So you need to have a certificate. Root CA. Okay. So root CA, even your internet firewall, they will also issue the root CA, because to access any HTTPS site, you need that certificate in your browser. And in your browser by default it will happen. So now this google.com, you are able to access very easily. It is a secure connection. But Google is a public server, and this public certificate is already trusted in your browser. This is your browser. You are using Chrome. You have also Internet Explorer. So that browser and certificate and communication, SSL, this all comes under security. The security people, they understand this certificate stuff. The root CA is very important thing. So what we will do is, we will now here, if I cancel it, I'm into the certificate manager. Okay, so let's see if we can use this certificate for our AWS instance. So what I'm going to do, provision certificate. So get started, request certificate, choose the type of certificate, ACM. So request public certificate. So I'm requesting a certificate from the Amazon. So it will get charged again. Okay. The use an request wildcard certificate to protect several sites. Example, see, at least one domain name. So this is called a public certificate. So GoDaddy.com, or there are many internet self-signed certificate. So they issue a certificate, public certificate. So you need to go and buy that certificate. Okay, but now Amazon is saying we can also issue you certificate, public server. So that's why you need to buy a certificate, and you need to have a domain name for that. And I think I will tell you, don't just avoid this, because you need to register the domain, and it will that huge cost will be involved here. Okay, so but what you need to do is, this is something when you when you want to register the domain and all. So but in real time, what will happen, if you want to host this server on port 443, so you just need to ask the server team, please provide the certificate. So they will do this procedure, they will provide you one certificate. That certificate you just need to import here. Finish, your job is done here. Now the next thing is, you need to create the load balancer, and you need to create load balancer on the port 443. Even so, if I use add another name to this setting, so this is asking for the root CA. So it will be, I know, because under the root CA you can have multiple stuff. So actually they are giving you opportunity to, don't if you don't have a root CA, then we will become a root CA, and we will issue certificate for you, your application. So you can use the application here also. So everything they are providing. Okay, so once the certificate is installed, so you just need to go to EC2. Okay? And when you create your target group, create target group, instance. Can you see here health check? Here it will be HTTPS. That's the change only, because you cannot use HTTPS directly because you need. They will ask you certificate. Boss, please provide us certificate if you are using a secure stuff. So this is one place, and after the target group, I cancel it. And if I want to create the load balancer, create load balancer. Okay, HTTP and HTTPS. So create HTTPS, and here listener port you need to add HTTPS. Either some organization they will put 443 and 80 also. So you can add a listener here. HTTPS secure. Come down. So let's do one thing. Let's create two instances. Okay, so that's one thing. So one thing that is called 443. So you just need to change, instead of port 80, if you are using 443, then you need a certificate. You understand this? Because for our testing, we cannot see the port 443 because you need to have this thing. But only the difference here is in the load balancer configuration, you just need to select, instead of HTTP, HTTPS. When they say we want to host the application, so your first question will be, will it be in port 80 or port 443? If they say 443, okay, if they say port 80, then you, as a security guy, you need to recommend them, can you please make it 443? Otherwise, it will be more secure, because the the end user or application developer, or they may not be aware about the security. You guys are know about the security, so you need to tell them, can you please host your application on port 443? So if they are aware 443, they will say, okay, fine. So what I need to do? So you need to guide them 443. Then you need to get a CA signed certificate from this. Please reach out to this team. So there is a server team or some another team, they take care of this one. So they, you need to reach out. They will reach out to them and they will coordinate, and they will get an certificate. Actually, this server is actually here. So this server only I'm talking about. So they will reach out to the CA team, and CA server will issue a certificate to them, and this certificate they will they will send you here, and this certificate you need to install in the certificate manager. Then you can use this as a 443, and in the load balancer and the listener, you just need to select port 443. Then your certificate, then your browser, or sorry, your application will be hosted on port 443. You cannot access on port 8. So any questions here?
So, Nazima, the certificate will have the private key and all those things, right?
Yes.
So, our own, you said, we'll have a CA corresponding to like a root domain or something, correct?
Right.
So,
Right.
is this the root domain which is created during the Active Directory installation, or is it a
Exactly.
separate?
Exactly.
Okay.
During the Active Directory installation.
Then we invoke the servers in that particular root domain for certificate authority, right?
True. Because there is a separate team. Because this certificate and this root CA and all, this is a very big domain actually. If you think about a big organization, so they will have a regionalized CA servers, one root server, and from there regional root servers. So it's it will go again complex and complex. So there is a specialized people
Right.
here.
Like right now, Ashifa is dealing with that, correct? People like that.
Yes.
So,
So root CA.
So one question here is when we have a CSA, like let's call it our local CA. Okay? So this CA you are saying when it talks to the internet, it is talking to the official CA providers like certificate providers like GoDaddy and all, and keeps updating its database. Is that like that?
Yes. So see, there are two types of certificate. One is a public certificate, one is a private certificate.
Okay.
Even in your organization, if suppose for internal application also, if you want to use the port 8 port 443, then you need to use that internal CS, so internal CA. So it will not go to the internet, it will be within your organization. And for public CA, obviously they will connect to the that your CA, it will connect to the public CA, because this certificate, this net banking, as a given example, this certificate and your certificate should be matched. They must trust each other. Otherwise, there will be page error, some security error will become there. Many
So
banks, they will not allow you.
got it, got it. So anyway, this one single sign-on, it works on your port 443
Yes,
internally.
yes. Single sign on port 443. They need to have integration, single sign on to your Active Directory and your authentication server. So once a user come here, so automatically their credential will get uh, created, and you no need to provide your username and password again in the organization. So that is a single sign on. One time you just need to log in, rest all the single sign on application will be or taken your username and password.
So we, as in security people of cloud, we don't deal with that single sign-on thing, right? PKI people will do.
Single sign on is again, um, see, deal with, I cannot say, because security, it is, there is no limit. Every like the securities comes under the it start from the auditing. Okay, it start um your server security is there, your database security is there. So it is a very broader concept. Okay, but in the cloud security, what are things, it depend again, it depend the role what we have. But the
Okay,
single sign on what you are talking about, I got that one. So one
no,
day we will talk on that.
no problem. No problem.
Okay, we need to do some integration, but there are, as I told, there are some limitations. There are some labs which we cannot do on our own, because see, this is one example for port 443, because we did the lab. Okay, we understand, okay, port 80 is fine, but port 443, this is a dependency. We don't have this setup to test this all stuff. But you understand this, at least you understand with that. Okay, there is something called certificate manager tab. Okay, that's good. So you need to import there, and you need to use this. Any other questions? Okay, so now, yesterday we talked about the WAF, right? So there was a small thing we just need to add, but I actually they enhanced some tabs. That's why I was unable to find that. So what I'm going to do? So okay, so while creating the auto scaling, okay, when you say auto scaling, when you create, so you might have found one option there. Uh, auto scaling group. Okay, can you see here? There is an option. Switch to launch configuration, launch template. Is anyone notice this? When I say switch
Yes,
to launch
yes. I
configuration,
did know,
see,
yeah.
it is configuration. Now switch to launch template. So what is it? What does it mean? So there is something called, if you cancel it, you can cancel it. So there is, in the instance side, there is something called launch template. You can create your own template. Next time you no need to like template. Template means what? If you have similar things, let's say your servers are same pattern, you need this. These are your standards. So you next time you no need to go and manually create. Just use the template, and one button your server will be ready. Okay. So new launch template. For example, create launch template. Template is something. Okay. Now let's say extend. Okay. Give the template version something. Come down. So now, can you see there is an option here, auto scaling, provide guide. Okay, select this if you intend to use template with EC2 auto scaling. See, you can use this template in auto scaling as well. If I select this, can you see it is giving you the required option? Because for the what is the difference between auto scaling group and template? The answer is, for auto scaling you required AMI, but for the template you don't require. See, when I uncheck that required option gone, AMI is you optional. That's the difference. So if you look at here, so if I tell you the launch template and this um, launch configuration, both are same, both are same, but the difference is, for the launch configuration you need AMI. Means you need to have one server, take that backup of that server AMI, and use that AMI in launch configuration.
Right.
But in
So
but
sorry,
yet
logically, if you look at it, it's when you have to scale it, you need an image. If you don't need to scale it, will just a template is good enough, right? That would be
yeah,
the
yeah,
difference.
that's what they
Okay,
have given this option while creating auto scaling. They have given this option,
right.
either use the launch configuration or template.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see the template. So create launch template. Okay, yes. So now come here. So they are asking you, whenever this template come, which AMI image you want. So let's say I want Linux, the first one. Okay, so this temp every time this server will come. Next, instance type, which instance type you want? I want T2 micro, which is free tier. Okay, that's fine, good. Come down, which key pair you want? Why the key pair is not coming? Key pair name. See, when you say don't include in the template, so it will ask you. But why it is? I have the key pairs, right? It should show specify custom don't include launch. So you can, that key pair is like while opening this it is required, right? So let's say test test. Okay. See, I downloaded this one also. So that's fine. So this key will be there. VPC security group. Security group. Set security group. So there is a default security group, or you can create new one. storage. When you go to the storage, what do you want? So volume 1, this is the free tier. If you want to add more, you can add from here. Then next is resource tag. If you want network interfaces, all the advanced stuff, so I don't require that. So if tag, if you want tag, also not required. So create template, launch template. So what happened is, now your template is created. Okay, your template is there, but it doesn't mean you launch the instance. So from here you can launch the instance. See, I'm just from template, launch instance from template. And when I ask them, so now can you see, they are asking how many instances you want. I want 2 instances. Okay, and they're telling you, okay, these all are the details you will have. That's fine. Can you see this? And they are taking all the default values and all. You, if you have VPC defined, you need to define the VPC and all. So see, all these stuffs are ready here. Just go and launch instance from the template. See how simple. So last time, if you remember, we were using instance to create the instance, but my 2 servers are coming. So do you see what is the difference between template and auto scaling? Nazim, can you now see the
Yes,
template also doing the same work, right?
yes.
So what is the difference you see here?
Difference. And auto scaling will launch the instance so that you will get instance are there. But in template, will directly give the quantity, means how many instance you want. So
No,
it
no,
will.
that option we have in auto scaling also, quantity, like how
Yes,
many
yes,
you want. So what is the main
yes.
difference you identify? Just think on it. See, by name auto scale, scale means what? The difference here is, launch template means here you're like you're providing the quantity, how many servers you want. But auto scaling, you are telling this is my desired it to, desired option is to, but in case the traffic get increased, the maximum
Adding.
5 server can be there.
Yes.
That's the difference. That's the difference. Launch template will not do you for that. You need to
No.
go and manually create that. But here, auto scaling, it is automated process.
Okay.
Salman, is it correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
So see, now this is the difference. And this template, what you created, you can use that template in while creating auto scaling group also. So if you look at here, we covered each and every point. And I think it's been more than 1 month. When we started, anyone have any idea when we started these classes? 1st July?
I think fifth.
Okay, 5th. Now see, we spent more than 1 month in just 2 things, EC2, VPC. And just think about, if we go with this speed, let's say if we want to learn this all, so I think 1 or 2 years is required for this. I know, because this your entire AWS, it is dependent on these 2 people. The rest all are, they're optional. They're optional means, if you want to use this, please use it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. But these are the base. Okay, VPC and EC2 are the base of your AWS. Then after that, what we have, we in the incoming days, we need to start the S3. S3 is a bucket. Okay, it is a storage. So we will see the S3. Okay, then the main topics I'm talking about, S3. Then if you come down, we have this one in the security identifier. We have IAM role, very important. So this IAM role you can associate to any instance, who will access and who will do what, those things. Okay. Then now WAF, you aware of about the WAF. This is a extra. This is a like a digital stuff. Then certificate manager, you aware about this tab. This is used to import the certificate, right? So now the main important thing, okay, thing is this one, Route 53. So this is Route 53 is something we are going to see the load balancer again there, again in the while doing Route. The Route 53 is your load balancer. It is in North Virginia. Okay, the similar setup you will do it in Mumbai region. Okay, and you will do a failover. Let's say you will make this region down, so your traffic will route to this one. If you understand this one, right? So Route 53, so this is a key. This is nothing but a DNS. So you will win if you do the Route 53. This lab is, you know this is one of the biggest lab, Route 53 lab. But for that you need to have this all background. And this Route 53 is very because every organization, when they have multiple regions, so they will host one application here, one application here. So they will look for the failover. They will look for the failover. What will happen if this region goes down? So to understand that, so Route 53 is there. Okay, so we will look into that Route 53 in coming days. And apart from that, so these are the major thing: S3 bucket, Route 53, IAM role. What else? Okay. Cloud formation. Okay, cloud formation is, if you like this template stuff, then cloud formation, it is just a script. You, in a one click, one button, your instances will get ready. So we will spend some time on cloud formation also, because that is also very important. Where is cloud formation? Come. We will look into that. Cloud formation. Okay, here we go. So this is the cloud formation. Very important, because what your auto scaling and this thing, CloudWatch, you guys are aware about this. So we will see the cloud trail also. This is about the logging stuff and all. Okay. And what else? What else? CloudWatch and yeah, Lambda. Where is Lambda? Lambda is there. That is a very important function in AWS. Is all Lambda. So we will look into this Lambda function also. So guys, these all things to be done. So right now I can say we completed EC2 and the VPC. And from Monday, create web SCL. North Virginia. See, there is the option here. Associate AWS resources. So add AWS resources. When you create the load balancer, you need to just add your load balancer here. That's it. It will what you cannot view what it is doing, but in the real time, when applications come internet, so you will start seeing the blocks and all. So do you want me to because see, WAF is something you create the load balancer. Okay, and in the load balancer there is option called, yesterday we have seen that WAF. So either you create WAF from there, or come to WAF after creating load balancer, create one WAF policy and just add your load balancer here. So it will get associated, and that's it. So your WAF will be attached to your VIP. And in the WAF, yesterday we discussed in detail all your threat prevention and all those
Right, right.
stuff. will be there. It is already attached. You just need to see what you want. So WAF will take care of WAF. What it will do, it is an extra security layer, and it will protect you from internet threats. That's it.
Thanks.
So yesterday we created this. Only the option was this option got changed. Now they previously what was once you create the web, there was option to in the action associate it, but now they changed this, and they have given this option. So here you need to create the first create this BIP. Okay, sorry, ELB, and after creating ELB, create the WAF. Okay, just here add your VIP, and the next add rule. Yesterday we discussed in detail this about add rule, manage rules, and here take the free this rules. Let's say 11, this one. You pick this one, and next add rules, next, next, create webs. That's it. So now this WAF will be associated to this one. So if suppose you created WAF, so you need to select this. You can associate here also. See, associate AWS resources. Here also you can add your ELB, see, application load balance. You just need to create add your ELB here. Add it. When you create a ELB, you will get that option, your ELB name. Just select it, add it, finish. So the concept is important. Then the thing is, it will take care in the background. It will take care of if any threats coming, if any IP, if any malicious IP which is already in their list, if it is trying to access your application, so the WAF will block that. Sorry, boss, your bad IP. Okay, so I will leave up to you. So if you want to do this practice, just do it. Create the ELB first. Create the load balancer, and then create the WebAC and associate your load balancer here. So that's it. We have spent huge time here. So, and no doubt, if you step